get on with our night. I don't know, not everybody wants to stay out super late. So really quick before we start, I'm just going to go ahead and pray real fast, and then we'll go into some training. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you for this time. I just pray that we can regroup tonight and, get our businesses on track. I pray that you'll inspire us and motivate us. I just pray that you will bless each of our downline team members in their journeys. And I just pray that we can help inspire other people and be a blessing. And I thank you for this time. Keep everyone safe and safe travel home. In your name we pray. Amen. Okay, so we are going to do some training. I'm going to do a couple things first before we get into our hardcore training. It's not that hard. But I want to share a few things with all of you from my heart, but I really feel like it will not only help us in our businesses, but it will motivate us as well. In the last 6 months, I've learned more about leadership than I probably most of the time care to learn. But a lot of it is commitment, and a lot of it is just leadership. Those are two of the things that will take you to the top, but at the same time, they're the hardest to possess because you're constantly pouring into your downline, you're constantly staying committed on the days that you may not feel like it, and just the belief, the passion that we always have to fill. So where do we go? How do we keep that? How do we continue with that? And also pour that into our teams. So a couple things that I think we need as a team, maybe to restore and offer, I don't know if that's a good word, is more grace and gratitude. So first I want to talk about gratitude. I don't know if Stephanie's on there yet, but in all of our trainings that we've done lately, whether it be in Kona or convention, just thanking your sponsor for just bringing you into this. You don't have to go 20 levels up, but just letting your sponsor know how much you appreciate them and how much they mean to you, even if it's, it seems like all the time we fill our head with, well, they're not doing this, and they're not helping me with this person, and they're not hosting this, and they're not, there's so many things that it can go down to the nitty gritty. But how often do we just thank them? Your cup needs filled. So if you're doing that for your upline, I can guarantee if we pass that on, your downline's going to do the same thing for you. I just think that's super important. Also, when you give more gratitude, it seems like there's less things that we pick at, like bother us day in and day out. So I think it's super important. And I would really like to, I'll be honest with you, I do not thank Stephanie enough. She's on here tonight. She is besides Kathy, she's our technology savvy. I'm super proud that I figured out Zoom by myself. Do not expect me to do Facebook Live in the near future. It's going to take me a little bit. But, that's a world where I don't know very well. It scares me to death, and I don't like to do it often. So I appreciate their willingness to help. And I feel like a lot of times that it's really easy to be like, well, my sponsor doesn't know that, or she doesn't know this, or whatever. But they're really there for you. They really do care about your journey and where we want to go. So I really think gratitude is one. The other thing with that is, as much as we could pick out, your sponsor doesn't control your destiny. They don't control your journey. This is your business. So if you want the end results, then we have to work it like it's our thing. Not, I didn't get 5 people to sign my team this month because I didn't get a Zoom call with Stephanie. It's not Stephanie's fault. That it's my thing. So I need to be constantly pushing myself. Another thing too, if you guys have set Stephanie or myself or Jeannie or anyone else on a pedestal, gosh, I beg you to take me down because I'm not above you and I will fail you. I try so hard. In the beginning, if somebody would message me, my goal was 5 minutes. I'll have a message back to them in 5 minutes. Your days get crazy. You know, you have 50 million people messaging you. So it might be 2 hours, it might be 2 days. But it's not because we don't mean to. It's just I cannot even tell you. There's probably a post on the Jules page every 5 minutes, videos that we have to watch. It gets crazy. And it's not that we are trying to leave anyone out, but I promise you, I will fail you, I'm human. So I want you to give more gratitude and grace for that. Another thing that I was thinking of when I was thinking of the training, and Stephanie kind of talked about this today, is, you know, the days that you don't feel like posting flexes. I have those days. I had a couple this last week. You get overwhelmed. Things get crazy. But if you feel that, message your sponsor. Then your sponsor can reach out, but we can go up from there. We can go out. We can have girls' night. We can pour into you. We can pour into your team. Whatever it takes, but don't dwell in that moment because that moment will control your outcome. The journey, you know, a lot of people have different ways to getting to the top. You know, when we were in Kona, we get a chance to talk and ask all the diamonds. I'm sure they get sick of us. They'll probably like go home and be like, that downhill would not make you alone about how I got to diamond. I get it, but I just like to hear all the different stories of how people got to the top. So, you know, you might have people that are adamant. You know, I love welcome packs. That's how we were trained. Maybe it's, you know, you do Zooms and somebody else does meetings. However you were trained, there's many different ways to get there, but you have to plug in to get there. It's not just this way that our 5 upline said and that's it. There's so many different ways and there's different variables too. So we have to be open to that. We had Carrie Wilkerson talk to us in Kona. She's the Barefoot executive. And a couple things that she said that I thought were super powerful. She said, you do not have control over results. You only have control over your activity. The outcome we don't know. But if we're not doing stuff daily, we can't complain about it because our activity is negative. The other thing she said is discipline gives you freedom. She talked about doing a power hour every day, which is, you'll see the teams have implemented already. It's great because when you set yourself that 1 hour, you can just get a ton of stuff done. People messaging, you know, I've tried to do it this week. Another thing that she said was getting up about an hour before the kids go to school in the morning. You're dressed, you're ready to go. So when they're up, your whole day isn't starting in catastrophe because then it goes behind from there. Sunday, I sat there when I was given Justice's breathing treatment. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to plan out my meals. Clearly, we have enough taco meat to last us for the next 2 months, so we probably won't have to plan anything. But I'm like, that takes time. That takes planning meals. You know, sometimes you can think about it first thing in the morning, and you're like, it's lunchtime tonight, and I still don't know what I'm going to eat. All those little things that take up your time, and they cause you to squirrel or something, it happens. Woody and Chad would make fun of us when we were in Kona because I'd start a sentence, or Stephanie would start a sentence, or Jeannie would start a sentence, and we wouldn't finish. And we're like, oh, we're on to something else, like we forgot about it. So, I don't know. I feel like little things that I've learned in just the last couple weeks, I feel like I'm sure you guys have struggled with, or maybe are struggling with. I don't know. But we can change that. We can change the direction. Okay, so you're going to show the power of you. From today on, you want to be in Maui Maui next year, what are you going to do? There's going to be no excuses. You're going to be self-driven. So every day you're going to message your 5 people. You're going to set up one-on-ones, whether it's, you know, we don't have to do this. We can do Zooms. Those are free. We can go meet people. That's free, super fun. You're going to give 100% your best, even those days where you're like, I don't think I've got it in me. Just post a couple times. You know, another good thing to do if you have those days, I've done this to Stephanie just a couple times, would you just tag me in a post? I'm just not feeling it. Just throw me in there so it goes onto my page. That way you still have something. There is a world of people that still have no idea about Plexus and that want this, that desire the freedom. Change your mindset. This is huge. Natalie Fuller, she just posted on the Jules page, and she said, when people drop off, it's because a need hasn't been met. Whether it's financial, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's motivation, whether it's their health, they just get frustrated. That's when people quit, is because the need hasn't been met. And I feel bad because I think a lot of people drop off because of the financial, which makes me feel bad. I totally know that. At the same time, when I first signed on, I was working nights at Walmart stocking shelves, and financially we were in a rough place. And my very first welcome pack, $34.95, would overdraft us. But I was desired enough that I felt a change that every month I was going to do whatever it took to keep on going because I needed my products. And I would hate to think of how many people have stopped just because of the financial. So I think that's something that, you know, if you know somebody's struggling with, we really need to meet with them. We really need to brainstorm and figure out how we can get them to a point of freedom for them. Another thing Carrie said was, do not expect your downline to do something that you're not willing to do yourself. So, you know what? I'll go back to the meetings. I totally wasn't going to cry tonight. I totally, look, you can do it yourself. They both can see that. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can miss 5 of the products and not talk about it, and it's okay. Like, just being open and being passionate to the people that you're put in front of, I think is probably one of the best things. Okay, so that's pretty much, did you see stuff on there?
I don't think so.
That was pretty much my tough love. I was going to see if she wanted to say anything.
Nope.
No, okay, that's fine. Okay, so let's talk about end of the month activity. So I want to address one thing really fast before we go into end of the month activity. They talked to us about this in Kona. The credit card fraud security that they have in place is amazing. We're kind of feeling the effects of it, so just please bear with Plexus. If you're signing someone up or they're putting in an order and you can't get it to go, the last couple days this happened to me. When you click on where you put in the credit card information and you click billing information the same, that automatically inputs that in. It also inputs in the last 4 numbers past the zip code. Those have to be taken out, back to just the 68847 or 68845, whatever your zip code is, because your billing statement does not reflect those 4 numbers, so it won't process. It will keep giving it an error. If you try more than twice, you're out, and you have to wait 24 hours to put it back in. So if you know anybody that's struggling or is going to sign someone up, maybe just send that on, send it down to your teams, because I made that mistake, and we tried 5 times, and she had to wait the whole day. She didn't have another card. If they have another card, that's fine. If they don't, they have to completely wait. So there's a ton of credit card fraud going on.
If they try another card, can they come back the next day with their card back in?
Yes, yes. Once they're in, then they can change that. And if they have trouble changing that, just let us know. We'll have, yeah, yep. But they're not loosening up the credit card security part. They're just trying to infiltrate the Plexus website to work with the credit card because they still want the security there. Where everything's done online, it's easy, you know, for somebody that's, they don't even know, way smarter than you and Stephanie to get in there and figure out their information and steal their credit card. So there are a lot of things coming down the pipe with Plexus. Different trainings they're going to be doing in the back office. Different videos that they're going to be doing for our new ambassadors. So all we have to do is click on it and send it on. So we aren't having to do as much. But the other thing is, if we are in tune with our level ones and you train your level ones to be in tune with their level ones, that's less that we're all going to have to be doing at the end of the month when it's crazy. Making sure why so-and-so's at a blue 0 or their order didn't process. So some of that we're going to give grace this month just because I think a lot of it is the credit card protection. But in the future, I think we can minimize that hectic hassleness of it. So, okay, so end of the month, first day for auto calls, this is 25th. So if you see someone's order hasn't gone through, you need to be either, I would say voice texting. I wouldn't even just message. I would voice text. It's super easy. You can do it while you're driving. You have to. And just say, hey, if you're having trouble, or if your order meant to go through, or you want to change a card, or want to change your product, it didn't. So let me know and we'll figure out how to get through. I just said the one thing I was going to tell you not to say too. The next day for auto calls is the 28th, usually between the 25th and the 28th. So if you see orders haven't gone through then, we need to be getting on the phone because there's no need to wait till the 30th, the 29th or 30th. It just gets crazy. And I think Plexus gets bombarded as well. One of the things that when we were talking to the Diamonds, one of the things they said, you know, you're creating a sense of urgency. You want these people that you're talking to, you want them to get started ASAP. You want them to go silver ASAP. So they're like, never say, you know what, here's this or here's that. Just let me know or I'll be in touch with you. It's such an open end. You give them every excuse to just start backing away. And as they slowly back away, it's harder to reel them in. So I know Julia Carty did the Zoom for us just a couple weeks ago, and she's like, I just trained my team, it's urgency. They can get started today. We can get them structured today. So I thought that was really interesting just because I just said it, just let me know, just message me whenever. So you can see where it goes from there. I think everybody should have, I have it at home. I didn't bring it here, but I just brought this so you could kind of see. I think they're probably not going to be able to see, but I'll do this. Can you guys see that? You can't answer me, but you can.
Thumbs up. They should be able to give thumbs up.
At home, I have all my levels 1s and 2s. I have wrote down as white lines on a separate sheet of paper. And I know what their issue is, like if it's money or if they have extra products, so they're not going to order this month, I have to skip a month or whatever. For my actives, my 1s and 2s, I have the level, and if they're old or new, they're new ambassador, I have their name. So, like, I'm just using this as an example. And then the number of new ambassadors they have underneath of them, and the number of inactives they have. If your inactive number keeps increasing greater than your new ambassador number, your attrition is insane, and somewhere they're not getting trained. So we have to dive into that. You really would like it even or off by just 1. And then I have their ship date. I always have, see, he's in trouble because his inactive is way less than his new sponsor. So we have to have a meeting about that.
Can you go over again what those categories are?
Okay, so the level that they are to do level 1s, or I do level 1s and 2s. And if they're new or old, an ambassador, I have a couple new that have like 1 person, so that's why I put new or old. And then their name, the number of new ambassadors they have for the month, and then the next column is the number of inactive that month. I just like to keep track because I like to see when I get a white line to reactivate, I like to see where my stats change. And then the ship date, their order ship date. So if it's missed, because some people have had new cards and they need to change that. If it's missed, then I can say, hey, your stuff was supposed to ship on the 20th. I'm sure you probably got a new card, so let's just get that into the system really fast and you can get your products on the way. So I do that because I like to keep track of my white lines as well. But I also do that because I never cancel out my white lines. I don't consume myself with them necessarily, but I don't cancel out. I've had lots of white lines reactivate. I just had one message me yesterday, and she had been off for a little over a year. She'd been inactive, and it was just crazy, and she could tell how much she missed the product. So even though I don't want you to spend all your time on that, I think we need new growth. You know, if any of you have watched the Chris McCall video yet, he talks about filling the Ferris wheel. You got to keep filling it in, or it's eventually going to go empty. I thought that was a good explanation because my goal is always to go silver every month, but I don't make that some months. You know, I'll be honest, but you still have to fill in something, whether it's a customer, an ambassador, just fill in something. So I thought that was a good explanation. But my thing about the white lines too is if I'm doing it with all my level 1s and 2s and messaging people that don't have their order in so we can figure out what the plan is, and then you guys are doing it with your level 1s and 2s, we don't have to freak out on the 25th to go down to a level 4 and be like, their order isn't put in. Like, that is crazy stress. I always make sure Chad and I have our order in the first of the month because just with the point system, I never want to skip the month. You just get crazy. And I feel like, you know, sometimes you can, did I put it in? Did I not put it in? I don't go into his thing every day, but I'm always checking mine. So I like to have it in at the beginning of the month. So that's my personal opinion on that. But I know that it gets crazy sometimes, and I just think that these last 6 months have been super crazy for everybody. I think with just the summer slowdown, even though I don't think it was necessarily slow, I think it was just inactive. The credit card, I think all of that has played into effect, and so we have to figure out how to get you back up. Like I said, whether it's meetings, let's do meetings. You know, if you want to do that again. If it's, you know what, let's go to Little Mexico or Alamo or somewhere that's Mexican. Just kidding. What do you can't stand me very much? So, okay. My hot will rub off on him one day, I swear. There was, by the way, a Mexican place in Kona. We didn't get to eat there, but there was one there we found.
9 days. 9 days with no Mexican.
My body was So I don't know. I'm open to ideas. If you guys want to give ideas that you have, I would ask you to come up here so our participants, the other part of our team, can see you or hear you, right?
Yes. I think they can hear us. I don't know.
Surely they would all be off if they can hear us. You have a lot of messages?
If you would.
Oh, yeah. I was going to check my phone. Does anybody have anything else? Monica? Jeannie? Deanna? Janelle? Yeah, come up here.
It's just, I'm telling you to watch the videos from Kona for the dining when they did theirs, because of the Brad format. It's amazing, and it will give you a whole different mindset perspective on things.
That's in your back pocket.
And it's on Jim Catching Cousins for one. We've had it there. Stephanie, I think, had it posted to watch.
Janelle Harms is saying implement the Brad. Watch those videos. It is cutting out really bad.
I have the information. I think so. Yeah. It was on Janice and Paul, too.
I think that Carrie did a really good job as far as she knew what kind of rut we were in, like all of us, overwhelmed, not insecure or the security of Plexus. I'm fine with that, but you just get overwhelmed. And she knew that, like she could read it like a book. And she kind of turned it into humor a little bit, but she was really just talking about everyday life because she knows us. We're women. We focus our day off of feelings, you know, and it's hard. You try not to, but you do. She's like, and she wasn't being mean. She's like, honestly, she's like, I don't know why anyone would vote for a woman president. She's like, at that time of the month, all you have to do is push your finger on that one button and you can take out China. And it was kind of funny, like the whole audience erupted, but it's kind of, I know that she was hardcore. She was like, look, y'all are making excuses and you don't need to. Like it was really, you know, the one time she said something about, you know, stop doing for people and then just waiting for them to be appreciative. She's like, that's not what you do. She's like, that's not what you do for people. You do it no matter what. Just different things that you're like, oh man, she had to talk about that. At least I felt convicted. Did you feel convicted? Yeah, like there was a couple times where I was like crying. I'm like, oh my Lord, like I've got to go back and change. And I think, you know, another thing too is if it's the end of the month and you don't want to be doing this at home, writing down your people to call, then tell us. We can rent this. We can go somewhere. We'll probably still have taco meat, so we can, you know, whatever. But we can get together and do it together so you don't feel like you're doing it alone. I don't want you to feel like this is alone. Like this is not an alone journey. Stephanie is coming back in November, I believe, so we're going to try to do another big event then, so that will be fun. But we have places to go. If you guys have specifics, you know, just let us know. We'll go. Anybody else want to say anything?
Not coming the week after Thanksgiving, see.
I think the week of. Don't quote me on that. It was a little crazy today, and I might not have paid attention.
What was the question?
Oh, you are on. I said, you're coming, we were talking about meetings, and I said, you're coming in November. And Joe wants to know what week.
It would be the
Before or after the 28th?
Your internet connection was.
I will let you know once I know.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I just hate that I had to get on late, so I didn't get to hear all of it. But it was fast, and I think it was good, though. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know if you guys touched, Dawn, if you touched on, you know, the meetings and stuff, but I just want to, I guess, emphasize, don't wait for somebody like your sponsor or somebody to come and do a meeting for you. Really, you guys just really need to just, I mean, I can't explain or emphasize enough how much it feels when you do it yourself. Like, it's good to have somebody help you. I'm not saying no, but your sponsor will not always be there for you. And like a lot of us, our sponsor is not around us, and so it's just impossible. So if you can just do it, like the first couple times, I promise you, you are going to feel like you can conquer the world after that. And then it just helps build your belief in yourself. And for all the people you're inviting, that's getting the word out to them that you're with Plexus, even if they're people that you had a hard time, or maybe they're on your chicken list, that you couldn't reach out to personally before. So I don't know. I don't know how that goes with what you've been talking about, but that's just something I wanted to say.
No, I love that. We brought up the meetings, pretty much just activity in general.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you talked about today. So, and I just had said there was a couple times where I didn't feel like posting, so I'd ask you to tag me in something. You know, but I don't, at the same time, you know, if it works, if it does work, you know, this next month is a little crazy because we have Leaders Retreat and it's at the end of the month. But if it does work and we can get together and do end of the month hardcore, everybody's in their computer, everybody's in their back office, you're looking to see who's active, you're looking to see who's inactive. You're looking to see who has their PV in or not. Maybe they're at a blue 0 still. If we're all doing that together, maybe it will start forming a habit. And then you can go on and do that with your teams, because it gets crazy. When you have, Stephanie and I were talking about that today, when you have, over 1,000 people in your downline, like, I don't even know where to start. Like, I just feel overwhelmed.
Well, even, I mean, I don't know how you would all feel about it or how it would work, but even like the first couple months to do it, to kind of, because I know there's going to be questions,
Right.
we could even get on Zoom and kind of do it together that way for those that want to. And, like pick a day or something to go over each of our back offices and just kind of check it. And that way, if you all have a question while you're doing it, then we're right here, or one of us is, either way, to help walk you through it or answer questions.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know how you all feel about that, but that's just an idea.
I'm getting blank stares, but I think they're excited.
Okay. Yeah, blank stares usually mean excitement. Yep.
Did you hear Janelle? She was cheering you
No.
up.
Come on, Stephanie.
No. Thanks, Janelle.
Does anybody else have anything they want to say? Anybody on there want to say anything? Will it be too crazy to unmute everybody?
No, well, we can try it.
Kathy's here, so she's got it.
Woohoo! Our tech genius.
Yes, she is.
There's probably an easier way to unmute everybody with one button, but
Just have them unmute themselves.
Oh.
can you guys all unmute yourselves if you have any questions? Does anybody have any questions?
I don't understand it. He must what he's
Are you supposed to cut?
An ambassador has,
Probably not a good idea to.
yeah. And then they're canceling. Do they go once
Yes,
a month or not?
as long as they don't do it until, did they send the form, do you think?
Yeah.
They,
Yeah, probably.
Oh, here, there's some things in the chat. I forgot to read the chat.
if they send their stuff back in, I think it'll take it off.
No, it's not going.
They're not gonna send it back in?
No, no.
Okay, then it'll still be counted, yeah. I had to think about that for a minute.
That's just decided to just go back, instead of being ambassador. Because she's not, what kind of plan to go on.
Okay, no, it should still count for it. Because the money's already there. The money was already out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be good. Anybody else?
Oh, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can we go over the whole, what's it called, backup order thing, like October changing, right? Like having your backup order on?
Yes. As far as, if you have to have the 100 for that for place, okay, that's not till November, right? Or is it October? It is October. The backup order?
The backup.
When's all done? Around 4:19? Okay, so we're done.
Okay, so that's the other thing too, is their new policy is you don't technically have to have a backup order in place, but you still have to have a 100 PV order every month to be commission qualified.
Whether yours or customers.
Right. But here's my thing. If we either screen our customers or ambassadors, if we think that they're possibly not going to order the 100 PV, then don't even have them go there. Because I don't think it should be either that we are cheating because they're not going to have as much enforcement with that. Because that's how you get your points. That is based whether my 5 levels don't, my 5 of my personally sponsored people don't have 100 PV in. That's affecting all of y'all's PV points, not just mine. So it's kind of, I don't even tell people. I don't tell people they can turn it off. If they figure it out, those are mine. Because I don't tell them. You have to order 100 PV every month, no matter what. I don't care what you order. It could be samples if you have extra product. You order samples and send it out. But I never tell them they can shut it off. I just think it's gonna get too confusing a little bit. If people are gonna be like, oh, do I or don't I? I don't know.
If they don't have their PD, their $100 PD in that first week, starting October 1st, if you sign a team member or somebody at level 1 through 4 signs a team member, if you don't have 100 PD in, you don't get that welcome back bonus. That impresses up. They'll skip you.
But you still get it if you had your half PD,
Not anymore, starting October 1st.
Oh,
That's how it's now because otherwise,
I don't think that's right. I think if you had your 100 PD the month before,
that's
you
right.
still are good for that month. If you were new
I'm not good at that. I don't remember.
and you never ordered,
I'm just going.
and then somebody said,
Just don't turn it off.
yeah, but at the same point,
But your order doesn't go into the 28th of every month, and you have nobody ordering from you.
Steph, what's your take on it?
That's where Becky said that.
It's kind of hard to hear everybody's conversations except for you.
What's your take on the new backup order in place? They're wondering if you don't have your 100 PB in, is it the month prior or the first week you don't get the welcome bonuses?
Okay, so to make a commission for the 15th, you know, the big commission check, if you were 100 PV the month before, you're qualified. Now for the weekly building bonuses, you know, so if you get an ambassador, those weekly ones, that one is if you're not yet, like if you haven't got your 100 PV yet that month.
Okay.
Well, crap. Because the month before might count on that one too. I need to read up on that one and double check on the building bonuses.
Okay.
But I do know for the big commission check, if
For
you
the
qualified the month before,
For the 15th,
You're
and we're
good.
still unsure of the weekly billing bonuses. Which would be smart if they would do that, because they obviously want people to be commission qualified right away, every month.
you know what I think it is? Okay, I think it is if you were, because say it's the first week, you know, that you get the building bonus. Then if you were qualified, like you had 100 PV the month before, you're qualified for that building bonus. If not, then you would need to have 100 PV that first week to get that building bonus. Does that make sense?
Okay,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
that's what you're getting.
Like you'd have to be qualified this month for the if you sign somebody for.
If you didn't have a
Carla, do you want to?
okay, I have like, there's just the only part of the
Right.
conversation that I don't understand. So the people that don't order the 100 PD, so people who are ambassadors, who say they only order $80 for the PD a month, do we get any kind of compensation for that?
Nope.
Okay, that was my question.
5%, or whatever.
You don't get no.
If they're not making 100, if they're not at 100,
Right.
If it's not at 100, you don't get anything.
Right. Okay, so they're asking about people that are signed up as ambassadors and they do not meet the 100 PB. Say they make $89.95 or something. That's their order. You do not earn anything off them. No 5% of total volume, no points, nothing, because they have not hit the 100 PB. So, yeah. I don't know. I just never sell anything less than it has to be. It just scares me because I think there's a lot of people that figured out ways and try to go around that. So it scares me.
Can I? Oh.
Yeah.
I was just going to touch on, and maybe
I don't know if it's hers or ours.
like we have been, that
Okay,
you have to.
Start over. Now we can hear you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Heading out, so yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying that with this whole new change with the backup order and everything, honestly, I would just keep working like we have been. Like that don't go off that there has been a change, that, you know, just keep working that you do need to have a backup order of $100. I mean, honestly, because that's going to be the person's auto shipment each month. And it's just, honestly, I think it's less confusion, and they have to have $100 PV each month. That's it.
Yep. Do you want to touch on the search bar on our page?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. We lost you again.
Yes. Does everybody know how to use them? Or not really familiar with them? So it's the little search feature underneath the cover photo. So the big banner photo of a page. You can do it on any page, not a personal page, but on any like group page you're joined to. So the testimonies page, any team page. And if you go to that box and you type in a keyword search, guys, when somebody has a question for me, or what do you do? People come to you, and well, off the top of my head, I can't remember. So I go to certain pages. Normally it's the biggest team page, and I use the search.
You guys want to use the search bar?
It's going to take some searching and some reading through, because you're going to have to read the comment or the post, and then you go through the comments to find testimonies and answers. But that, I mean, that has helped.
Read your lips.
Right?
If you use that search feature.
Like I think it's easier to
Is there a question?
go to the final tab and then do the search there. You get that's where all
If you're
the,
looking for a specific post, just go to like destination or Diamond Green Team and then type in, you know, what you're looking for.
I'm going to say something, since it's just us.
Yeah.
That I know it's been looked down upon by some teams, but it's one that I go to. It's my first go-to when I'm searching, and that's the Plexus Ambassador Support Team. I'm going to say it. I hope you guys aren't mad at me, but yes, there can be negativity on that page, but honestly, I don't go to it unless I have to look up something, because that's where I find a lot of answers.
Right. I don't
So
exactly. I don't ever go there unless I have to search for something, and I like Plexus Journeys as second.
yes.
Really?
Always, that's what I was looking for.
I don't think I've ever searched on there.
Always.
That's so funny.
Which one was that?
Jeannie says that she's always gone to Destination Diamond because there's always, she always finds it on. So, yeah. Anybody else have questions? No.
The only other thing, just because I had it just happened this last week.
Do you want to come up here so the people up here?
All right, we have one more thing, guys.
Since I, of course, coming home from Hawaii was just totally jacked up. Totally reached out to every white line that I had that was a level 1 to me. And I am meeting with a level 1 who's like, you know what, I just don't get it. Can we just get together? Because I think this is something that I want to do. So we're meeting on Thursday to get back together. So don't ever give up on your white lines. Just, all I did was send her a message and just said, you know, I know when you first started, this was something that you were really looking forward to. And I probably didn't do my best job, because when she first started, I was within my first year and I still didn't know that much. So I just sent her a message and a voice message. That's the other thing that we learned, and Dawn touched on this a little bit. Y'all, the Diamonds don't do a text one yet, so I did mine via text message, the voice message thing. And so they can hear the excitement in your voice. And I just said, you know, I know that this was something that you were really excited about when you started. And granted, that was only 1 out of, I think, 6 of my other white lines that didn't respond. But you know what? I'm still going to reach out to them again at some point. But now she's like, okay, I obviously don't understand this because I want to stay on the products and I can't afford them. So let's get together so you can explain it to me. So that's it. That's all I wanted to say. But doing the voice messaging or a phone call
is going to get you a lot further than just doing a text message or a type message, or an email even though the emails are cool too, but.
That's all I have for once, but yeah, I like the voice message. Yeah, I do a lot of voice. Do you guys have anything on there before we go?
If there,
Somebody typing?
looks like,
Need to know and find that on social.
Okay, well, thank you.
I think we lost connection as in the middle of Jeannie talking. I don't know.
Okay, well,
But
we
I
can
don't-
go ahead and end
But I
it.
don't
That
see
would
any
be-
chats.
Thanks for getting on, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because it's really slow in here.
oh, is it?
So should I end it?
Yeah.
We're ending it. Okay, bye, everybody, if you can
guys.
hear us.
Thank you. I can't tell if they're live or not.